Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are gonna be drawing Atlas from One Piece. Atlas, as you are following the story of Egghead right now, is the Vegapunk 05. There was a little mistake at the beginning when we introduced her in the saga, and she had the wrong number. She had 06, and Oda issued like a message saying that was gonna be a correction and it was a mistake, and then it was fixed, because actually, as you've been following a little bit Egghead, we have 6 Vegapunk versions, or 6 satellites. They call it satellites. One is Atlas, the other one is Lilith, we have Shaka, we have Edison, Pythagoras, and York. And on top of that, I'm gonna be talking about the spoilers through, 1120 is the latest episode. I'm gonna be talking about 1120 today a little bit, and other things and theories that I think may happen. So just in case you are not up to date with the top of the One Piece scenario right now, just feel free to jump to another video. I'm gonna leave plenty of other videos in the show more sections at the very bottom of the comments and everything, and you can jump and move to another one. So apart from these 6 kind of satellites, we have Vegapunk himself, the old man, okay, and then we have the brain, that is the Punk records. And all of these together form what is Vegapunk himself. He split it, his kind of brain, and let's say he split it as well, his feelings, because each one of these Vegapunks belong to a one state of mind. Like, for example, Lilith is the bad kind of Vegapunk, let's say, and then we have here as well Atlas is the aggressivity, the violence in Vegapunk. It's not actually doesn't mean that the characters need to be this particular feeling. They don't have this particular feeling all the time. You see that they are good, they are bad, they are everything, but to be honest, I think this is just a way for him for Oda to explain through Vegapunk how he split the body, but it doesn't need to be 100% bad, or 100% violent, or 100% good, or 100% clever. And I talk about this as well in my other videos about Vegapunk. I've done a couple. I've done one for Lilith, I've done one for Shaka as well, with my opinions about them, but later I will talk a little bit about this as well, so you can see what I mean. So all of these characters, all of these parts of Vegapunk, basically they sync into Punk records, into the main brain, that is basically like the internet. It's like the motherboard, like a memory stick basically, and all the things that they do daily, because each one of these Vegapunks have a specific job to do within the body. Let's say one, like York, it's eating, so the rest doesn't have to eat. Like she goes to toilet, so the rest doesn't have to go to toilet. So kind of this is the explanation that Oda gives us at the beginning when we are introduced to the multiple Vegapunks, that we have multiple because he is so busy and has so many ideas that what he wants to do is be more efficient, and we see this with the different jobs that the characters have. Okay, that's very nice. So I want to talk about Atlas today because she is kind of the main focus of 1120. Okay, I will talk about what I think she represents in this kind of connections with the Straw Hats and connections with the Vegapunks, and and why is the reason that she is being taken out of commission basically now. She exploded, she sacrificed herself to save the Sunny with the people that we have in the Sunny, because they were being attacked by Venus Juro, and Venus Juro is the samurai looking Gorosei guy. And yeah, let's do... I'll just focus a little bit, try to do the hair, because the hair is quite particular in this character. I want to kind of have it right like this. Okay, you know I always do the characters a little bit a little bit cartoony. It's not exactly like we see them exactly in the manga or in the anime. But yeah, let's see. Fancy doing this like that, okay. And then the eyes, very big eyes. This is kind of a chibi character. It's like, this character Atlas, it is said when Luffy arrives to Egghead is the first Vegapunk that he meets, the first character actually in Egghead that he meets, and she says that, oh my god, you're as big as Kaido, and we have this kind of, I'm using pink today because we have this particular ambience about her. So she's kind of this kawaii character, tanuki looking with a tail. I'm gonna be drawing it in a bit, but basically she's like a chibi character, like a giant kid from Elbaf. It's giving you Elbaf hints as well, but he has this kind of tanuki tail and everything. And in this moment when we meet her, we have Jinbei, Bonnie, and Chopper with Luffy as well, and all of them are introduced to her. And the group is separated. The Straw Hats One Piece group is separated in two groups, and we have Zoro's group that they are on the Sunny, and they meet Lilith. And then we have the other group that is Luffy's group, and they meet Atlas. And it's very funny because he's kind of, for me, giving me hints of the group that we are meeting. So we have the type of hair that she has, that all of this, when I start painting and everything, you will see is half pinky and half white. It reminds me to Uta from the movie, Red movie, and that's Luffy reference. Then we have this kind of Tanuki style, reminding me to Chopper as well, and the transformations and everything. She's very big like Jinbei, and she's in connection with the food because when she's introduced, she feeds Luffy and company with the machine, this nice machine, and that is as well a Bonnie reference, I would say. And yeah, as we have Lilith, that Lilith is more the mecha girl, and we have Usopp, Frankie there, we have as well the fighting guys, and Lilith is representing the bad Vegapunk and the pirate Vegapunk, and it's connecting with that. So each one of these characters have a particularity, and it's very interesting for me that Oda decided to kind of give us this separation and pair Atlas with Luffy and Lilith with Zoro and the rest. So let's keep drawing there a little bit. So as I said, in 1120 she sacrificed herself like Pedro did in Whole Cake, so we are able to escape. Okay, Pedro was a shock, we all cried there, it was very crazy, very unexpected. Pedro is a very epic character, a very strong fighter. And Lilith, Atlas, she has done the same, but I don't think I have that attachment to her. Was this necessary? Yes, this was necessary, because as I said, we need to be able to escape, and this is gonna be two Pedro references. One from Atlas for us. Basically, Atlas sacrificed herself so we were able from the Sunny to jump with the Sunny from the top of the lava face, from the top of the cloud, and go down to escape from Binojuro, that is the samurai guy, Gorosei, okay? That's gonna be the first one, and then we're gonna need another one at the bottom to escape from Egghead itself, because let me explain and go through everything that I think is gonna happen here. So when we're arriving to Egghead, and I recently started rereading the whole thing. Egghead is a saga that you need to read all together because it's a lot of information, it's a lot of lore. So as I said, Atlas is the first Vegapunk that Luffy meets. She represents the violence. We see her fighting a couple of times. First, she punches Luffy to make sure to Luffy that she's not a hologram. She's the one as well that she feeds Luffy later with the machine. She has this, I think he called it light pressure gloves. And she's able to punch the holograms that Luffy is fighting at the beginning. These kind of monsters, these kaiju monsters, these dinosaur looking. As well, this Egghead saga, I said it in previous videos as well, it represents Little Garden, because it's the same. So Luffy arrives to the island, jumps into the dinosaur, is eaten by the dinosaur, and then is spitted with the dinosaur, or cut out through the dinosaur, and this is exactly the same. So we see the correlation with the giants and everything there. As well, with the whole hologram concept, these monsters are holograms. Luffy goes through them, and Atlas shows up. So Atlas, what she does is punch the dinosaur, and everyone goes into shock because they don't know what is real and what is not real. So I think she says something like in the line of when Luffy asks if everything that is there is real, there is a girl, like an assistant, that is like, hey, welcome to Egghead, blah blah blah, this and that, and Luffy is kind of thinking, are you actually real too? And Atlas explains to him, because I think she represents the concept of reality, what is real and what is not, kind of the matrix, kind of the connection with the internet, the data, and the beginning of the punk record concepts, the brain concept, okay? So is like, what is real and what is not real, it will be whatever you want. Kind of whatever you want to be real, it will be real. Kind of as well making reference to the power of imagination that Luffy has with that. Okay, I'm just gonna keep drawing a little bit, because if not, I kind of realized that I've done a couple of Vegapunks, and I think I would like to talk about all of them a little bit. And today is nice that we are talking about Lilith, about Atlas, I mean. If you realize, I'm the whole time calling Atlas Lilith and Lilith Atlas, because I have both of them really present, and I want to talk about both of them today a little bit, because there are many things that I think are relevant for the connection between these two characters, and it's very funny because I'm trying to explain Atlas, and all the time I'm calling her Lilith. So basically, why is happening this, and the reason why I wanted to draw today this character, one of the reasons is because my Lilith theory, that I'm gonna put here on the top of the video, so you can click on there and go straight away to watch it. My Lilith theory is being confirmed. I think is the first or the second theory that is confirmed in the channel, and it is very nice. In a nutshell, in that theory about Lily, I talk about Lilith living Egghead with us, being the only one of the Vegapunks that lives Egghead, and on top of that with us, and on top of that to help us improve a little bit the crew. I think, and in that video I explain that Lilith is needed in the crew. Everyone is going crazy online, talking, oh my god, Lilith is gonna be a Straw Hat, oh, Lilith is gonna come with us, no one saw this coming, no one expected this. Well, I already talked about this in that video. That video is around 3-4 months ago, when we were introduced to Lily with the concept of mecha and everything, and with the jokes and everything, and the banter that she has with Brook, with Usopp, with Zoro, with everyone. So there, that gave me that drive to say, and that idea to say, okay, this character definitely is gonna come with us, like Carrot, for a little bit, to help us a little bit, and so we will love her and everything, because she's the bad Vegapunk, she's the pirate Vegapunk, and yeah, so that's what is gonna happen. And in the video I say that Lilith is gonna come with us because she needs to upgrade Frankie. We see, as I'm doing now, I'm drawing the hand, we see Atlas appear punching holograms because she has these light gloves, and I think there's something that we need. We need this kind of technology in Frankie. We don't want Vegapunk staying with us, but we want the technology from Vegapunk. Vegapunk had a laboratory, and Frankie spent 2 years in that laboratory in the island that we have the time skip. And he sees this. He says this to Lilith when they meet on the ship with the shark story and everything. Oh, I've been with you. I've been in your island, living at your place for 2 years. And when we have Punk Hazard the story as well with Caesar Clown and the Shulolo guy, Frankie is wanted. Shulolo, Caesar, wants Frankie because he has the Vegapunk's laser as well. So Frankie has already some Vegapunk tech in him because he learned it in the island and he implemented it to himself. So he already had an upgrade during these 2 years, but we want a second upgrade, a bigger upgrade. And in that video about Lily, basically I talk about green blood, the concept of the Seraphim, the power of the Seraphims, and how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and how Frank is gonna end up swapping the cola. He will use cola all the time, but in specific circumstances he will use the green blood so he can have momentarily Akuma no Mi powers, specific Akuma no Mi powers, maybe Senor Pink power, and the ones that we have seen with the Seraphims. I'm not saying he's gonna have all of them, but at least the ones that we are seeing in the Pacifistas, okay? In the Pacifistas Seraphim. We will be happy as well, I think. It will be very nice to see the technology with the gloves. So Frankie, because he is fighting always with boxing style, to be able to touch light, or I'm not saying that it's going to be only light, I think it's going to be matter in theory. I think he's going to be able to punch any Logia with those gloves, and it will be a way of upgrading Frankie without having to give him haki. In the previous episode 1118, 1119, you remember that Frankie, Sanji and Bonnie, they punch at the same time they punch Luffy, so they can kind of shoot Mars away like in Team Rocket, okay? Team Rocket flying. And in that moment as well, people on internet, everyone went like, oh my god, now Frankie has haki, super strong haki, and is kind of out of the blue. I don't think he is gonna be having haki in that way. I think he is giving him a very strong attack, a very strong punch, but that is not, I will say that is not haki. I think Frankie's line of storyline is not going into the haki realm, is going into the clever, into the handyman, and be able to make things and be able to harden himself with Wapo Metal through Lilith as well, even more strong, and the Frankie Shogun and everything. And yeah, so I think by adding him green blood, gloves, and all these things, we are set with Frankie, and Frankie is super strong already. People is talking as well about online, oh, Frankie is the 5th or the 4th strongest in the crew. I don't think that's true. I think we have Nico Robin positioned there very strong. Nico Robin could kill anyone that he wanted in the group, in the One Piece world, but I think all of them are being toned down a little bit for the sake of giving Luffy and Zorro more fight time, and I'm totally okay with that. Not have any problem with that. But so I don't kind of go out of track of what I want to talk, because we are talking about Atlas today. Just want to give you a little bit in a nutshell, a little bit of what this character does through the saga. So she's been with us since the very beginning, as I said before. We see her face in the CP0. She lost her face by Ruchi. So when Ruchi comes with a Rokugan attack, he destroys her face, and then she's not worried about it because how she's kind of this kind of robot. I don't think they are cyborgs because they are fully robotic. They are more robots. She's able to replace the face, and she's like nothing happened. And that's when I realized that these Vegapunk characters is very difficult to kill them, or they will not die. If you see all the Vegapunks that they are dead, that we think they are dead, are on this retransmission in the video with Vegapunk, that means that when one of these characters dies, the body dies, the mind, that is electronic mind, is data, it is not real, it is separated from the original. It goes to the brain, to the Punk record, so all of them are alive in the brain. Until you don't kill the brain, you don't kill Vegapunk, and all of them are connected, and well, you can disconnect yourself, but all of them are alive still, okay? So we see her as well. She's with Luffy's team the whole time. When Saturn arrives, she's there as well, fighting against Saturn. When the Marines arrive, she's fighting about the Marines. She's carrying Kuma at the very end. She's carrying Vegapunk as well. Is she the character that we thought that she may come with us? Maybe people think that that's true, but I don't think that's right, because basically the design. I don't think she has a appealing design to be in the crew more than we need. Always these funny looking characters, they help us, yes, but we don't have them all the time with us, okay? Let's do the boots while we talk. This chibi character. So, as I said in the Lilith video, Lilith has a very, very interesting story, a very interesting concept with the mecha style. Atlas doesn't have a concept like that, apart from the reality and helping us and everything, and she's the one who goes with Nico Robin as well underground, and this whole thing happened, and with Chopper and everything, so she's not that cool of a design like Shaka or Lilith to give us more. Like Edison and Pythagoras as well, they are characters that they are nice, they are focusing their own jobs and everything, but they are background characters. I think Atlas is given a little bit more of importance to kind of create a little bit of confusion with us, and we are gonna be saying, oh my god, we are taking several Vegapunks with us, and they're gonna be coming to Elba. No, because it is very difficult concept to represent. Basically, we wouldn't normally take multiple guys. Like it happened with Momo and with Kinemon because we needed this father-son connection. But in this case, that these characters are like sisters, brothers and sisters, or from the same father, let's say Vegapunk. We don't need that. So it will be totally normal that Oda wants to go in the direction of leaving one good coming with us and one bad staying behind. Or maybe probably York is gonna go away. At some point I will do, maybe when we finish Egghead, I will do a video about York as well. But we can't expect to drag characters or multiple characters so long within the group, because we are heading towards the end of the story, okay? So in 1118, as I said, she decides to sacrifice herself. She was already in the Drakkar, in the Viking ship, and she flies. She says to Bonnie and the rest, and Luffy and the rest, and Sanji, I'm the only one who can kind of sort this out. And she flies out of the ship. She goes upstairs to the Sunny, and there she straight away she punches Lilith, and everyone gets kind of, oh, what is going on here? And they go into attack mode. Zoro, Usopp, everyone is like, what are you doing? And she has a plan. Lilith, she's been too, how to say, too rational, too clever, too planification person. She's been too Vegapunk, and Lilith, that is the violence, Atlas, that represents the violence in Vegapunk. She knows that the only way to escape from Venus Euro right now is through violence. So she knocks Lilith out, making York very happy about it, making her so happy that she thinks that she's the last Vegapunk, but Venus Euro realizes about this. And what she's doing, Atlas, by doing this, is disconnecting Lilith from Punk Records. So the bad guys think, York and the Crusade think, that Lilith is dead, and he's gonna be able to escape. And she even say, take her, like escape with her and everything, like take care of her basically. And this works for York to be one of the Vegapunks is very silly, to be honest, because she believes this. And then what Atlas does is fly far from the ship, taking Venus Juro with her, dragging Venus Juro with her, and she even loses an arm in this action, and we see the strong determination in her eyes that she doesn't even flinch, and then she explodes. Okay, she auto destructs, like self destructs, making a lot of damage in Venus Juro, and with the explosion being able to throw the Sunny away towards the Drakkar, the Drakkar Viking ship that is waiting for them below on the sea. Okay, so the ship is falling down now, and Atlas, with a smile, sacrificed herself. That means she is dead. But Venus Juro is next to in a panel next to the explosion, regenerating himself. This, again, not even with this massive explosion, these guys are able to die. Please check this Prince Gross and the Gorusei video I'm gonna put there, because this behavior of the Gorusei is telling me, in the storytelling sake, for the storytelling sake, more and more than these Gorusei are not humans. These Gorusei are puppets, golems, however you want to call it, sentience, created by Imu. Imu has the Satan fruit, and Imu is basically able to create these characters, sentience, that they are able to go on their own and report to her. And because of this as well, I think at the end of Egghead is basically they're gonna be sucked back into Marejua, and Imu is gonna devour and absorb them, and may probably leaving only Venus Juro alive. That is the cooler design, and I think he may have to do a couple of things extra more in the story. I will do a video about him, but it will make sense. In that video I explained thoroughly the concept of the sentient and Imu's power and the Satan power and the Akuma no Mi for that, but what I think is gonna happen is that those Gorusei will be absorbed, devoured, and later in the storyline, because they failed massively in Egghead, Imu needs to spit out more of these Gorusei, different looking Goruseis, maybe like 100 or something like that, with different monsters, different Oni from the Japanese culture probably, shapes and forms and colors and monster creations and everything, because these 5 guys weren't strong enough to fight Luffy and the group in this saga. So it needs to happen, and we are not gonna see the God Knights fighting Luffy and company, because I think those guys are for Dragon and Sabo, etc. And we need more bad guys out of the blue, and I think it will make sense that the bad guy can generate more bad guys. And so we have equally, we have seen that these characters, they are not that strong, so you just need to find the weakest spot, would I say the weakest spot, and I think we will discover that later on in the story, and having maybe even one-to-ones, like Nami versus one, Chopper versus one, so they can fight as well these type of monster characters. So I think we kind of have the character drawn. I'm gonna move into the line work. I'm gonna be using the Unipin as normally I use, and yeah. So after the sacrifice and everything, we see Zoro is not focusing in Venus Juro much. And Nami says, "Oh, take Lilith inside," and Brook is preparing the boss to escape from there and everything. Zoro lost the attention and is focusing now in taking Lilith inside to safety and everything, not clashing with Venus Euro. Venus Euro is being thrown away, is behind with Atlas. Atlas explodes and everything. We are not gonna see Zorro fighting this character more, this Venus Euro more, because he's kind of disconnecting. There was a clash, okay, this is where we are, but they are not gonna be continuing fighting. That's my opinion, and because Zorro is focusing on something else, okay. Let's do a little bit of line work, okay. Let me see. Okay. I love Oda's designs. This is very nice. Just all of these like that. Okay. Feel free as well to say in the comments your opinion about this. What do you think is gonna happen with the end of Egghead, and why do you think Atlas sacrificed herself? And actually it wasn't really needed. You could have a little bit have Zorro fighting, but I think we wanted to kind of have a little bit of importance for each one of these Vegapunk characters. All of them are kind of sacrificing themselves, like Edison did in the previous episode, for the group, kind of for the new generations, for the truth, basically. And it's nice. I like it. Let's do this. I like it, but I think we haven't finished with the sacrifices. I'll talk about it in a second, but let's see if we can. Like this. Because this look like a little bit like a sheep. It reminds me as well to a Little Mary as well. Like this. Always the line work go quite quick when we have a nice and consistent drawing like here. We have the teeth. The nose a little bit. And let's see the eyes. Because I don't like to do this type of characters, kawaii character. Normally it's not what I would draw, but yeah. Like this. Like this, yeah. I loved the Clover and Vegapunk interaction at the beginning of the story, at the beginning of the comic, of the episode, the D reveal, the older brother reveal. I thought it may be Crocus, the older brother, but I was checking online and everything, and apparently Crocus is around 75, 78, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and Clover, at the time of dying, he is 85, so it can't be that Crocus is the older brother who died. I thought Crocus may be a D, but it wouldn't follow this, and I thought about this because Oda goes a lot through the design of the characters and how do they look, and Clover and Crocus, I love them because the type of hairs that they have, it always reminds me that they may be related to some kind of, you know, brothers, family, or friends, something like this. And let's do this eyebrow as well. But yeah, I've been counting and everything, and it doesn't match. The years don't match. Let's do. That's the dress here, and the legs. Okay. These boots are really cool, by the way. It will be so nice when she explodes. Basically, we see her flying with the boots, and we see everyone flying with the boots actually in the saga. But I would have loved to see her in that scene animated, maybe. In the manga, maybe Beta flying with the rockets. She has a couple of rockets at the back. I'll draw them in a moment, and maybe in the animation it's drawn in a different way, and we can see them actually she flying. We can see actually Atlas flying with the rockets Beta, but yeah, let's do. just like that. You see now these rockets here at the back. It's pick a pair. The other one we don't see it because it's in theory here, but there's one rocket here and the other one here at the back. It's quite thick, so we do like this, like that, and now like this. Yeah, it has some squares in white that we don't see, so we will paint the whole thing in red later in a bit. And this is what I said that Atlas has this tanuki tail. It is gonna be a moment that I'm gonna call her by her name, not by another name. Okay. Let's do the arm here. It's the hand there. Okay, looking very nice. Looking very nice. So, what's next in this moment of self-destruction, and where are we heading with this? So I think we are heading to Saturn, Kuma, and Bonnie. So we see, if you realize, we are going back to the beginning, that was Straw Hats versus Saturn. I have a very interesting video about Saturn that I'm gonna put here as well. And in this video about Saturn, I explain why he is the Egghead incident and his defeat will be the Egghead incident. And this is basically because I think Oda sometimes kind of modifies things a little bit, and maybe he thought initially that Saturn will be the only fighter here and later we will introduce the rest of the Gorusei, but at the same time maybe he had to rush a little bit things in Egghead because we are having a lot of info and it feels a little bit rushed, in a good way, but rushed, and that's why maybe he introduced all of them. What is happening now is that all of the Gorusei slowly are gonna be thrown away far, like Mars, okay? By the giants, by Luffy, by everyone, I don't know, in general. And what we are gonna see here is basically Saturn versus them again, like we started. And this is pure storytelling, and this is for the sake of the storytelling. So Saturn is hanging on the ship now, okay, on the Drakkar ship, in the Viking ship now, and he says, I'm not gonna let you escape, Kuma and Bonnie. So he's not worrying about Luffy, about anyone else. It's Kuma and Bonnie, because one has a lot of info and has a lot of things, and on top of that is one of those races that needs to be eliminated. And the other, basically, Bonnie, is a child experiment that Bonnie didn't eat a fruit, as we see in her story, the explanation with Saturn. The mother was modified or experimented with by Saturn and the team of scientists on Saturn side, and he wants that back. He wants that power back, and he's not gonna let her escape, basically. And that is what we are coming back now. So we need the ultimate sacrifice again, like we've seen with Atlas, with Kuma. So I think what Kuma needs to do now is to kind of awaken a little bit, not in the sense of fruit awakening, but he needs to wake up, stand up, needs to push Saturn to the island and self-destruct as crazy and explode everything as crazy. And before that, the memories need to come back, that there's a bubble with memories in Egghead still, and this is for him to remember Bonnie purely and say goodbye to Bonnie. So basically, I think he is gonna, like Pedro, basically reveal that he has a bomb. He will reveal that he's starting a countdown in the ship, and everyone start crying because they know what's gonna happen. He will push Saturn, like Atlas did. He will grab Saturn probably and jump into the island, and they will fall in the island. Before of that, he needs to slap with the Popo the Drakkar, the Viking ship, away to Elbaf, so they will be shooting. This is straight away after the Sunny, boom, falls on top of the Drakkar, so all of them are together, and then slap. The Drakkar is going to be flying away to Elbaf. In that moment, everything is exploding as well because there's a lot of destruction in Egghead. The memories need to go back into him, so while they are leaving, they are very far. We have this last image of Kuma getting very, very, very small, saying goodbye, be free. I said this in my previous videos as well about Bonnie. Be free, be happy, be yourself, travel the world. And consequently, explosion, Egghead destruction, massive destruction like Ohara. And when we are back into Egghead, the Gorusei are the only ones that they are standing alive there. The rest are all destroyed, and being kind of this kind of poetic, like, oh my god, we've been defeated, then they are gonna be sucked, as I explained before, by Imu and devoured by Imu in Marejua. Okay, it can be as well that we have this. Let me paint at the same time because I am not actually drawing much today. We have something very important as well in this episode, that is the giant, that the iron giant is there, and the question is there, it is the giant that is going to be self-destructing, because he's saying, oh, it's time to use this, Joy Boy, could it be? I don't think, because he's like Sunisha. Sunisha is friends with Joy Boy, he's nakamas with Joy Boy, and we leave her alive, and I think all of these guys that we're gonna be making in connection with Joy Boy need to stay alive. Okay, I think there may be a massive laser coming, and that's the original Vegapunk laser was from there probably, because he was kind of studying this robot. The robot is being very silly, doing this with the hand, when like Usopp does with Luffy when he doesn't understand something. So it's been a silly robot, and that means silly robot means no die. He's not gonna die. He is being chewed. He lost an arm as well, the left arm and everything. And while he's talking with Luffy and everything, Luffy looks a lot like a Luffy kid. I don't know if because this is straight away after the punch. This is straight away after the punch of Sanji, the kick of Sanji, and the punch of Frankie and Bonnie. Maybe we have the because Bonnie punched Luffy. Maybe you could say that. That Luffy is a little bit more kid. He transformed a little bit into kid. I don't think Bonnie, being at 12 years old, she fully controls the haki and everything, because she is attacking with haki. We see that she is all coated in black. The hand is all coated in black, so she's using haki there. She has haki, but at the same time, maybe she can't control it properly because she's a kid still, and that's why. Maybe Luffy looks more childish now, talking with the giant. Luffy, as per his reaction, he still doesn't know this whole Nika thing. He's not putting two and two together and understanding that he has some sort of divine person or legendary person inside. And yeah, I'm curious to see. Someone needs to tell him when we go to Elbaf, probably a little bit about this whole story, and I'm curious to see how he's gonna react. Probably in a Luffy way, like no, I'm me. I'm like he says already in Wano in the rooftop. No, I'm me. So we don't get scared that he's losing his personality. But at the same time, he needs to kind of accept this or connect with this character, like in Naruto and the connection with the Kyuubi, something like this. So I'm curious to see how is that gonna happen. I think the end of Egghead needs to be a combination with the Kuma sacrifice and explosion, with the Atlas sacrifice and explosion, plus the giant, no sacrifice, but the laser explosion thing to kind of throw away, throw far away the rest of the Gorusei. If you noticed, all of them are kind of throwing them away. Like Team Rocket, I told you, with the Mars situation, what happened to him, it's the funny gag at the end of every Pokemon episode that the Team Rocket will be thrown away miles away, and they will come back in another episode, basically. That this is the same, they will come back in another episode. I think the drawing is progressing quite nice. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So the gloves here with brown. The tail is pale brown like this. And then there's a little bit of tiny blue in her eyes, very nice like this. We have the cheeks as well, a little bit pinky like that. I made her brownish, but I wanted to do more pinky color like this. And even if it is white, I want to do a little bit of this to give a little bit of volume there. That I will add volume in a moment with the black, you know, when I add black. This is a little bit more brown. The ears, this kind of going merry ears, very cute, very nice. And the rest of the things, I think we are missing the back. There it is. Let's do a little bit of yellow. I fancy doing yellow here at the bottom now. We want the red. We want red for the rocket. There's a little bit of shine there. Like this, yeah. But very nice, to be honest. I've been reading online in the news something about one of the One Piece producers revealed that there is gonna be a big thing before the Egghead incident, big Egghead incident. So kind of this guy, sometimes I've been following One Piece for many years, since the very beginning, and every now and then Oda does this. There is one of the producers that will come out and he will say, oh, by the way, something is coming, and then we have a big boom happening in the story. We know, because if you think about it, all Egghead is kind of a flashback, because at the beginning of Egghead we see this newspaper saying, oh, the Egghead incident, it revolutionized the world, you know, and this is not as a flashback at such, because we see it in real time, but we already know that there's going to be a big incident in Egghead, and it is the destroy of Egghead, the defeat of the Gorusei, the reveal of the Gorusei, and the assassination of Vegapunk, and all of these things. And basically, in my Saturn video that I pinched there in the corner, I explained that it is basically Saturn will be kidnapped or eliminated. I focus more in the concept of kidnapped, but even he's not being kidnapped, Saturn, because he's not being kidnapped anymore. My theory in that video, that is partially true, was that the Blackbeard pirates will kidnap him, but that didn't happen. But what it happened is that they took his resemblance, they cloned him, they duplicated him with Katerina Devon. That I put it as well. I explain everything in my Katerina Devon video that I will put in the show more section, because it's not that connected to this theory, so I don't want to pin it there. But yeah, so the big thing before the big thing is still coming. It is happening now with the Giant revelation, I think, with the Giant and the Joy Boy Nika. Is all of this is a story that the One Piece world, as if you are living in One Piece, will not know, because it is happening in real time. And a lot of people is kind of complaining. I've seen a lot of people complaining about, oh my god, nothing is happening, this and that. Egghead let me kind of give me my opinion about Egghead and what is going on. So Egghead is a very dense saga with information, very dense with information, and it's one of these sagas that you need to read in one go, following week by week. If you are not someone who is reading the episodes a couple of times when they come out, and on top of that, trying to analyze it and find some this and some that, if you are not doing that in Egghead, it is very difficult to follow and to understand what is going on, because I know people that is kind of reading it like normal, like something normal, okay, like you will read whatever, not like me, like you are, or like other people who is maybe talking about this. So when I try to explain, or when I tell this to someone, it's like, okay, Egghead needs to be taken with pincers a little bit, and look and be watched or be read in one go. It is very difficult for a non how to say this? So for a person who normally follows One Piece, yes, or reads One Piece every week or every now and then, yeah, but you need to read and reread many times what is happening to be able to understand Egghead. Is too dense, and I think it may be dangerous, the weekly reading, for those that they are not following as much, because they may get bored, and that's true, because people already told me, a little bit boring, a little bit this. I find it fascinating, the Egghead saga. I said it's one of my favorite sagas, together with Water 7 and Lobby, because of this, because the lore drop and everything. But I can understand that people who only watches because, yeah, like who watches something on the TV, it's a little bit concerned, like, I don't know what's happening, I can't follow, I'm gonna wait a little bit, maybe I watch 5-10 episodes together, because it is a little bit too much info for me. I totally understand it. So as I said, it's a very, very dense saga, and yeah, so I fancy doing a little bit adding. Atlas doesn't have this kind of shading or anything, but I always like to add some extra little things here and there, and yeah. So I've been talking about all of this, the destruction on Egghead and everything, but we need to remember that we still have our dear Sentomaru that is in Egghead. He is not saved so far. He was knocked out, and I'm gonna put here a Kizaru video. If I don't put it here, I will put it in the show more section. But Kizaru is good. Kizaru, with the volume 109, I think it is. Now the cover for the full volume, Kuma, Vegapunk, Bonnie, Sentomaru, Kizaru, all of them are dancing, doing Nika dance and everything. So we see by the flashback, and I explain in that video very, very in deep, that Kizaru is good, and Kizaru is helping us, and Kizaru is the one who fed Luffy when first against Saturn and everything. He was the one who fed Luffy there, and then he wasn't, oh my god, I can't fight, these people are too strong. No, he is overwhelmed by the situation of having killed his friend Vegapunk, having pierced Vegapunk with a laser, and on top of that, a confliction. He's in a conflict there, because he is between the duty, and I explain everything in that video. Okay, so feel free to go and check it out. But the thing is that I think Kizaru is still gonna have a small role to play in Egghead. That is the save of Sentomaru. He's gonna fly super fast, take Sentomaru, and escape. And probably, I don't think he's gonna go back to the Gorosei or to the Marines after this. He will escape with Sentomaru after this, and not go back to the Marines. And I think as to finish basically the other characters that we have in Egghead that they haven't escaped or they don't seem like they are escaping much right now is the Marines. I'm gonna put another video here about Smoker and the Marine Rebellion. Basically, in that video, I talk about the Smoker arriving to Egghead at the very end and being the one who kind of awakens his fruit, makes a smoke screen so Luffy and company are able to escape. So he lends the final hand to Luffy and company so they are able to escape the island before destruction. And I still think that is gonna happen. We see Smoker after many episodes without appearing. We see him in the, I think it's 11-17 we see him. And he's carrying something, a square looking, I don't think it's a poneglyph, I don't know what it is, it can be anything, but he is talking there that he's heading to the hospital and everything, probably to meet with, he needs to meet with Tashigi. He doesn't go alone much, so he needs to go back to Tashigi, and the thing is, I think he may show up there and be the one, as I explained in that video, to save the Marines. Say, open your eyes, these are monsters, who are you fighting for? You don't even know who are you fighting for. Let's get out of here. I think a lot of Marines are gonna be leaving the forces, leaving the Marine forces, and some of them most probably will become sword. Some others, I think, will just go back to normal life. Let's do this little corner here, the mouth there. I think they have seen all these monsters and all this destruction and all these good guys attacking them and what they thought they were good guys. And a lot of changes are going to happen because the Egghead incident, and as I said, it is a combination of things. And together with the Gorosei fail and the Vegapunk death and everything, another one of these big things in Egghead is the plenty of the Marines saying bye-bye to the jobs and say, I don't want to keep doing this because we discovered here that this is not good. We've been tricked, we don't know for who we are working, etc, etc. And the K, this is the Punk 05 she has here in the clothes. Okay, looking good. Punk 5, the arrow. So as you can see, I have a lot of ideas, a lot of theories about Egghead, many things that they may happen, what this may happen and everything. And as I said, some of them may not happen. This may be just some people can watch this and say, oh, this is fan fiction, this is this is that. Yeah, I think theorizing and telling stories about in this case about One Piece, it's a little bit of fan fiction, and I enjoy talking about these ideas, and I was very excited to see that finally this Lilith theory has been revealed to be truth, because I said it already a couple of months ago, and it is very nice to see what she's gonna be able to do with Frankie and everything going forward in the story, and I can't wait for that. It's very nice to see a theory in the channel kind of being true, and yeah, so I invite you, as well as I put it in the video before, and you will find it as well in the show more sections, to watch the Lilith theory. it is connecting with another Frankie theory that I will put as well in the show more section, so you can actually watch them all and watch whatever you want. And yeah, so I think this is looking good. I would say I'm done for today. It's looking very nice, the Atlas design. We basically went through the episode 1120, that is the latest episode so far in manga. We've been talking a little bit about Atlas and why she sacrificed herself and what is this gonna be giving to the story, to Lilith in particular, and to the Straw Hat crew, and to the Egghead story. And we've been talking a little bit about, in general, a little bit about how cool the Clover concept, and how we are starting again in the beginning, like how we started, versus us versus Saturn, and how we need the ultimate sacrifice still from Kuma. And this is particular drawing about Atlas, talking about Atlas, but talking about in general different things that may happen with Gorusei, Kuma, Bonnie, Sentomaru, Kizaru, and all of these main characters in Egghead. And yeah, so I think it's time for me to sign. Okay, this is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you like it. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and let's open discussion in the comments and everything, and share it with your friends, with your nakamas, and with everyone that you want. And I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.